still going in Fox and Friends land here. Good morning.
That was a Todd Piro request.
Oh, not just
specifically.
Not just me. You saw
morning.
floor director Dave like breaking it down at 6 a.m.
And I saw you breaking it down too.
Were you guys dancing while we were starting the show?
I think they were.
Potentially.
Hopefully with coffee and maybe in pajamas.
That was a hard. They didn't leave the J-Lo on for very long, did they?
We need more J-Lo.
We need more.
There we go.
It's our request for 2018.
Well, what you ask, you get. You know. So give the people what they want.
And that's how we're starting Happy New Year. 2018 has arrived.
It has.
It has. And it's so funny because I remember on Saturday I kept being like, oh yeah, looking ahead at 2018, and it was like, it's Monday.
Right.
It's literally right around the corner.
Now,
a matter of days.
Ducey and I had a little rest. You're exhausted because you've been up since what? How long?
Well, I got home around 1 a.m.
Oh.
It's all right. It was a lot of fun. I'm so glad I did it, and I'm happy to be here on the couch.
Good stuff.
If we got a little coffee, we'll be all right.
Are you warmed up?
I think so. It's still so cold out, though. I can't. I'm like already ready for spring.
Can you think of a time that you were ever colder at work?
No.
Okay.
Or maybe in life.
All right. Well, more than 1 million people braved the bone-chilling weather.
So, maybe didn't have some of the wild festivities or the champagne
what
that
I was
we
doing,
just talked about.
Lisa Marie Boothe, was kicking off my New Year's resolution, which
what was that?
Well, I was trying to eat healthy, but I don't think the pound and a half of Chinese food.
Yeah, I was going to say, you both are kind of off to a bad start on that front.
It's going to start today. And speaking of which, obviously, that's what everybody does this time of year. 47% of they're all lying.
Well, so here's the thing. If we're going to ask people at home to let us know what their New Year's resolutions are for 2018, then we need to hear yours.
It's funny.
Yesterday, Peter, what's your New Year's resolution?
I made one up yesterday. I said that I wanted to make breakfast before I went to work on the Hill because not a ton of no, not today.
Okay.
Well,
so
actually,
back in Washington, D.C.
Once I get back to D.C., and the producers were listening, and today at 9:50, they're going to have somebody come on to show me what to make.
Very, very helpful. So you'll be able to get
tease.
a jump start. Yeah.
How about you?
So New Year's, I joked last night because we had a woman that came on that sort of specializes in helping people attain their New Year's Eve resolutions. And I told her, I was like, look, what if you just have the same resolutions each year? It makes it easy. You don't have to come up with new ones. It just, keep it running. She didn't think that was a good plan.
Because if you do the resolution, if you actually follow up on it, then you don't need to do it.
I don't. Your logic is just no. Well, so mine is actually to travel more for fun and to kind of take a little bit of time to travel the world and take a little bit of time for me and sort of enjoy those travels. So we'll see. It probably won't happen, but we'll see.
Todd?
Mine's pretty cliche. During the Christmas episode of Fox and Friends I was hosting, and my wife said, your gut looks fat. So my resolution will be to lose the gut.
That's some hard-hitting honesty.
So, I got to do something, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, President Trump is somebody who made a lot of promises during the campaign.
He kept a lot of them.
He's been going out on the trail, touting promises that he made, promises that he says that he's kept. We heard from him. Coming up, Defense Secretary James Mad Dog Mattis has a...
Melissa Armo, good to have you here on New Year's Day. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, yeah.
So let's break down the numbers. I mean, you've run the numbers. You know which one's a better bet. Take it away.
Well, it's 1 in 292 since the end of November. Nobody wins. If it doesn't run on Wednesday, nobody wins. It could run into Saturday. I mean, it could get up to be huge.
So if someone wanted to invest, they're looking ahead to 2018. They're like, I want to make a little bit of money. Maybe I didn't make enough in 2017. Maybe you just want to, get lucky on Powerball or whatever. So let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin, though. So what do viewers at home need to know about that?
Well, a lot of people don't understand Bitcoin. I was just talking to I would say you really got to know what you're doing with Bitcoin, and you got to be okay with risk because it fluctuates. So right now, like I said, price is 13.
I heard somebody describe it as it's basically like real estate on the internet. In trying to break it down.
Well, you have to be willing to take risk. Yeah, right. I think there's better odds with Bitcoin talking compared.
New Year's Day for our amazing Fox and I went to the same fraternity as Dr. Seuss. So sitting here today, what do you want the Fox and Friend viewer to do?
I would say that no matter what you do, whether you want to buy a Bitcoin.
Last-minute advice for people heading into 2018 before we have to go.
For the stock market?
Just at large.
Just at large, I would say.
Money. Late to buy in because the market is so high, or do you think it has more room to grow?
If you're a long-term investor, it doesn't matter. So that's the nice thing. If it's going higher, it doesn't matter where you get in, so then you get the ride out. That's what a lot of people think. A lot of people are saying that it's too late. But look, if you said that in 2016, look, you missed the whole year of 2017.
We may need to talk after the show. Thanks, Melissa. We really appreciate your time. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
While millionaire NFL players protest the national anthem in...
with a look at what was trending as the clock struck midnight on 2018.
Yes.
Jillian, let us know.
Aside from the, Happy New Year, there was a lot of stuff that people were talking about
or
online.
Fox News 2018.
Absolutely, yes. Let's begin with former FBI Director James Comey. After being fired by President Trump, he's now sharing his hopes for 2018. Comey tweeting what appears to be available.
I also love how James Comey is trying to act like he's holier than thou. I mean, he has been so misleading and lied under oath, particularly about the timing of when he released the information to his friend, the memos to his friends. So somehow he's trying to claim some sort of higher ground here, and it's just it falls flat.
He's supposedly writing a book, though. Is this going to be what the book is like, where there's just no names and we have to kind of guess who he's talking about?
He wants to invest in Bitcoin.
Well, at least we know that it's him now on Twitter. Remember when he first got onto Twitter?
He was
and it was
called
this
out,
mystery
though.
But it's
for
a lot of
days.
shadowy photos of him, like, reading books or him in silhouette on the ferry or by a Christmas tree. It's surprising.
It's extremely creepy.
Again,
let's call it what it is. It's creepy.
Jillian, do you remember the backstory? Because he had some sort of didn't someone called him out?
Someone called him out. A couple people called him out on Twitter.
I don't remember who it was. Okay, I thought maybe
it lasted for like 2 days from what I remember, and then he was like, "Yes, this is me." All right, so let's talk about Chelsea Handler.
We love Chelsea Handler. Jillian, we're always talking about her.
She spent her New Year's lecturing people on Twitter.
Handler for her to reply to these, right?
She hasn't replied to, but I mean, look. You may say now, like, okay, she makes all this money, she's a Hollywood star. She grew up in Livingston, New Jersey, which if you're a Jersey guy like I know Mr. Peter Ducey is, Livingston is like one of the wealthiest towns in all of New Jersey. So why don't we back off on the white privilege thing here?
It's also like, who is she to be talking about peace and love? She's the one that's viciously gone after Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Pretty much everyone.
She proclaims to be a leftist feminist, and then she goes after other women in powerful positions.
Yes.
So not having it, Chelsea.
All right, how about Mariah Carey? Are we having that? Because we showed you this moment, the singer demanding hot tea during her redo performance. Funny, but it wasn't funny. It kind of missed the mark.
But she also has a history of being a diva.
Right.
So or at least reportedly being a diva. So it wouldn't be surprising for her to be like, I need my
She says, I'm going to rough it while wearing like fur.
A laugh riot for everybody like Lisa sitting there in 10 degrees all day.
Yeah, I didn't ask for my tea.
Would you like tea? I'll go get you.
No, they did.
Hey, we need tea.
For it.
All right, hard turn here. Thanks, Jillian. Violence spiraling out of control.
Right, so, in the new book, Secrets of the Secret Service, author Gary Byrne details his time as a Secret Service agent and how the Clintons, he says, destroyed the agency's integrity. In the book, he writes, how can a security agency protect its protectees from themselves, especially when the protectees continually seek to systematically destroy the protocols that ensure protection? The agency had decided to err on the side of blind loyalty, and that was nearly its undoing.
Well, so what does the future look like for the agency? Joining us now is former Secret Service agent.
About patriotism. Here to react, active duty U.S. Army officer, writer, and commentator Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy, so great to see you here in the new year. Happy New Year to you. And what was your reaction when you saw this?
Yeah. Well, really, I thought about
Well, first of all, thank you for your service, sir. And secondly, a lot of Americans, including a lot of the viewers at home right now, they view this kneeling as an affront to patriotism, as an affront to our country, or anti-American. And so my question to you, you talk about future generations. How does this impact them? And how does this impact our country?
I think how it impacts our country is that we have to be on the
new op-ed, and it involves Disney World's Trump robot being the target of a screaming rant. And the question that we're asking this morning is there really any safe space left from the leftist insanity? Listen to this soundbite first, and then we'll get your reaction on it.
A lot of that happened on college campuses as well. And you're a young American. What do you think of that breakdown on college campuses?
Oh, it has gotten outrageous. I mean, I follow quite a bit of the news coming out of a lot of the campuses.
Fairly tumultuous 2017. What advice do you have for your fellow Americans here in 2018?
I think the absolute thing we have to remember going forward is that we can't always change how others view our country or how others do things, but what we can do is that if we understand American values, if patriotic Americans want to make an impact, we just have to keep on instilling those values to others and keep on having great positions and having great defenses for why we believe what we believe and why these values are so important, and continue teaching that we live in the greatest country on earth, and we have to keep on reminding folks that we are so fortunate and blessed to be in this great country.
Well said.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for your service, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, Jeremy. All right, coming up, President Trump ready to hit the ground running here in 2018.
That means it is 2018 here in Manhattan and officially around the rest of the world, wherever you're watching.
I don't know about you guys, but I still can't believe it's already 2018.
Wow.
Where did the year go in 2017?
Time for midterms.
Well, we've been asking you all at home to send your photos, to send your New Year's resolutions. You can send it at our friends at foxnews.com. So please keep sending those our way. We've been reading them a little bit earlier. We're going to continue to read them. And so please send them our way.
Stuff. All right. Peter Ducey, Lisa Boothe, Todd Pyro in for Steve Ainsley and Brian, who will be back tomorrow. All right. Somebody we have on the show all the time. We love her. Michelle Malkin, host of Michelle Malkin Investigates on CRTV. So much to...
Midnight on to 2018.
That's right. Good morning, guys, to you. Good morning to you at home. Let's begin with former FBI Director James Comey, okay? Because after being fired by President Trump, he's...
And also, well, basically his entire Twitter feed is a thinly veiled jabs at President Trump. That's basically what it is. But look, The Hill even called Comey out for the fact that he broke some of the same very government protocols that he criticized Hillary Clinton for and criticized her for so publicly. So he's got egg on his face here with that.
And he also closed out an investigation 2 months before interviewing the principal player in said investigation. So what are you going to do?
And this is the exciting part of Twitter, right, is being able to read all of these sarcastic comments that people say.
Which we get them too, right?
Yes, we do. But let's move on to Steve Harvey, because he's getting a lot this morning, I'm sure. The comedian hosting Fox's New Year's Eve special. But it was his outfit that stole me, or does Steve Harvey dress up like spy versus spy for New Year's? I don't think we have that picture.
That's amazing. Can we put up that picture
Isn't that funny?
Also,
I'm not sure if we have that picture.
Twitter is like everything for bringing up sassy responses, and also things that we obviously didn't think of ourselves, but agree with, given the response of these two guys. He
probably felt like Frosty the Snowman, though.
I felt like Frosty the Snow Woman. So,
all right, guys, Mariah Carey.
Finally.
How about this? We showed you this moment, right? But it's worth seeing again. The singer demanding hot tea. Every time she talks, it sounds so dramatic.
But see, that's why it seemed like this makes so much sense. Well, I mean, she's long been kind of, called out for being a little bit of a diva. Clearly with that big fur jacket, as you mentioned, even the way she said it. So, I mean, it's not really surprising that she'd be like, I need my tea.
But the sad part is, guys, we're not talking about her performance. We're talking about the tea. And she probably would want everybody to talk about her performance.
I think about the performance, it would be safe to say that Mariah started 2018 on a high note.
Classic Peter Ducey.
There we go. Actually, that was pretty good.
Just leave it there.
Probably take a commercial break.
And that's now we gotta go.
Jillian, thanks.
Thanks, Jillian.
Does the Resist movement have a future in 2018?
And last year, I was in Mar-a-Lago or across the causeway from Mar-a-Lago for most of the transition, and those people show up just about every day just because they want to have a look.
Well, they got lunch and pictures.
And I just read in the Palm Beach Post, there was one guy who was really, really excited, but he was upset that he was wearing sweatpants. Because it was so last minute. This was not one of those things that was just set up and they tried to make it look like a surprise.
Have you tried the chocolate cake?
I have not.
He didn't feed you?
No.
But what he did do is he tweeted.
President Trump?
Just tweeted moments ago. Do we have the tweet?
He sent New Year's wishes to America, and he predicted a fantastic 2000.
Absolutely. All right, a new year means new resolutions. Many Americans across the country committing to some changes starting today.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say no divorces in 99!
But your divorce isn't even final yet.
Just the one divorce in 99!
All right, so which New Year's resolutions are most likely to stick?
Yeah, joining us now with the tips you need for a better...
Turns out the economy under President Trump did recover. In fact, it was booming.
So here to break down the biggest business stories of 2017 and what they mean for the new year, former chief economist for the U.S. International Trade Commission and business professor at the University of Maryland. He's a Terrapin. Peter Morici. Peter, good to see you here. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year.
This is so fascinating that somebody, an economist, would come out there with such a bold prediction and be so wrong. Let's cue it up with Sarah Sanders' tweet last week in response to Mr. Krugman's beautiful, beautiful prediction. Greatest story of the year, booming at real Donald Trump economy, worst prediction for the year, and then obviously the reference to Mr. Krugman's piece. How do you respond to all that, and how can somebody be so off?
Well, it's quite simple. Paul Krugman won a Nobel Prize for being...
All right, well, another year has come and gone, which means that dozens and dozens of more movies will battle it out at the box office in 2018.
Here to break down the most anticipated movies of 2018 is Fox News contributor and founder of NerdTears.com, Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, I think your resolution for 2018 should be more energy. Said no one ever.
This is true, and good morning to you guys, and thank you so much for having me on, and Happy New Year. And I'm at home at my parents' house in Williamsburg, Virginia,
Nice.
And I forgot to bring a blazer with me, so my dad let me borrow this blazer. It's a little bit big on me,
You look
but
beautiful.
hopefully it looks okay on TV.
All right,
sharp.
Kevin. Well, so let's get started. Everyone needs something to look forward to in 2018, which starts today. It seems weird.
Right.
All right, so let's start with number 5. What's your number 5 pick for the top movies to look forward to?
Yeah, there's a lot of films coming out in 2018 that I'm very, very excited about. The fifth one, can't wait to see what type of jokes they do in Deadpool 2. The no title yet, and there's been very minimal footage coming out. But I'm kind of hoping, I saw a joke on Twitter, that they keep the title Untitled Deadpool Sequel. That'd be kind of funny, just in regards to like the jokes they do.
And Kevin, the movie you are most excited about is the next one from Steven Spielberg.
This is true, Peter. Yeah, Ready Player One. I cannot.
He may sound like Guy Fieri when he does Skype, but he is Kevin McCarthy joining us
Happy
in
New Year.
2018 for his top 5 movies. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, Kevin. All
Hey,
right.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy
Thank
New
you,
Year.
too.
Coming up, Kim Jong-un says he's got his finger on the nuclear button. Fox News alert. Is the time for diplomacy over? Dan Bongino is here.
And guys, let me be the first to welcome and wish you a happy Barack Obama Day. Yeah, it's now law in one state. We'll tell you when and where when Fox and Friends returns.
Interesting.
The world is burning to the ground.